How's it going, Helldivers? And today I wanted to give you some quick tips when it comes to Helldivers 2 to allow you to spread managed democracy more efficiently. You know the deal, sit back, get the data pad out, get ready to take some notes, or have this playing in your helmet while you are on the front lines. So let's get started. First step, I would recommend you get the Warbond Democratic Detonation. This is probably one of the best Warbonds in the game to get from a value perspective. You get some of the drippiest armor in the game, but most importantly, you get the grenade pistol, one of the best secondaries to have when fighting the bugs, the thermite grenade, which is the best grenade in the game, allowing you to deal with heavy units no problem, and one of, if not the best gun in the game, the crossbow. So if you have 10 bucks or you need to farm super credits, make sure you get Democratic Detonation. As much fun as it is to dismantle some clankers or roast every bug you see, a lot of the time you guys are taking on fights you don't need to. Stop alerting every patrol you see, because most of the time you will not kill the bugs quick enough before they do a bug breach, which leads to a 10 to 20 minute engagement, wasting time fighting bugs or bots for no reason and not really doing anything besides just having fun killing stuff, which, like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for having fun. However, if you do see yourself struggling with time a lot, maybe it's because you're just wasting a lot of that time that you do get on pointless fights. Another thing is your aim is shit because you are either standing or shooting or strafing while shooting. I have noticed a lot of people forget this tiny fact, but did you know your aim and recoil control gets better if you crouch or go prone, or just simply just stand still? While there is perks like engineering kit that further reduce your recoil by 30% when you crouch, you still have the ability to reduce this recoil yourself by simply just getting down on one knee. Charger heads, while instinctively you may want to aim for those, you really should be going for the legs on chargers or the thorax or butt. Only aim for their head if you have a recoilless, otherwise don't waste the ammo, and most likely you're going to get hit by them charging into you because you put so much of your time trying to shoot them in the head. This really applies to bugs because I rarely see myself in scenarios with bots where this comes into play, but a feature I see a lot of people not use is melee. When you get that bug variant that has the pouncers, or hell, you're getting swarmed by hunter cells, melee can be your best friend. Why? Well, because it will stagger these little guys, giving you room to maneuver, or keep wailing on them and it'll kill them eventually. Melee is a powerful tool that has saved my life, even on Super Helldive. So when you're getting swarmed and you have like 3 bugs on you, melee them. This also applies to other things, such as when a bug pounces and you melee them mid-air, it will stagger them and stop. This also applies to alpha commanders, and it applies to most bugs that aren't chargers and obviously Biotitans, even though I would love to see you punch a Biotitan. However, I've never tried punching a Stalker, usually because I try to shoot those as quick as possible because I don't like getting ragdolled. It's the quickest way to ruin my mood. So if anyone here does end up punching a Stalker and you see it stagger, leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to pin it. When your fellow Helldivers fall in the line of duty for Super Earth, before you instinctively go for a reinforcement, please open your map, see where they died. Are you near their body? Is anyone else closer than you? Maybe they could be able to get them. If so, don't reinforce them, let the other person do so. Nothing is more infuriating than dying while tackling an objective only to get reinforced by the guy across the map who's soloing Nestler outposts. Please take 10 seconds, just open up the map, check. If the person really wants to get revived, then you can revive them on you, and then it's their problem for forcing you to revive them across the map. Otherwise, just let the person closest do it to them. This is kind of a PSA for everyone, and I try to add this to every tips video I do. Please, if available, always try to get the super samples or even pick up the commons and rares. While people like us who are higher level and have all the modules for ships unlocked, that level 32 or 10 doesn't. And the quicker we can get them samples, the quicker they can be at our level and have more stuff unlocked, meaning they can be more effective on the field and help with the war effort better. Don't immediately go to extract if there's 20 to 25 minutes on the map timer. I know you want to have the Pelican hover, but honestly, all you're doing is wasting time and applying pressure to others who really want to get samples done or that far off outpost that you forgot to get. So don't be unfair to those individuals who want to stay the extra 10 minutes and go help them, and don't just have the Pelican hover. This is another one about samples, and one I rarely do, to be honest, but it also applies to objectives when on Super Helldive, the egg and the bot head. If you have a lot of samples on you, or the larva side objective, or the egg on Super Helldive, please just beeline it to the extract and drop all the stuff on the floor, because if you die with that stuff while on the front, it will make it really hard to go backtrack to get it, and worse, if you die when, let's say, a bot drop happens, now we are forced to have to push past a metric fuck ton of enemies and waste time to get your stuff you drop. God forbid you fall down a hole or you drown and those samples are now gone forever. So make sure if you have a lot of samples on you, the larva backpack or the egg, you drop it at extract. Resupply etiquette. Are you a group of 4 and it's been a fight or two? Call it in and only take 1, no big deal. Are you alone and your 3 teammates are all red on their status bar? Don't call it in. Prioritize POIs to replenish your ammo and stims and grenades. The only exception is if you arrive at an objective first and anticipate their arrival shortly. Are you split up into 2s? Depending on the situation, but only 1 unscripted breach/drop can spawn at a time, so give it to that duo if you didn't have to fight. You likely won't need it because you didn't face that fight anyway. Lastly, when out in the field, did you know you don't need a radar station? I mean LiDAR station? Dumbest change in the world, but that's right. It's going to take some time, but you can actually see objectives on the map clear as day. Perfect example is the Sieve artillery is usually a 1 or 2 perfectly circles on your map. Or if you see a random crescent on the map or black smudge on your map, high likelihood is that's a stalker nest nearby. Or if you do squids and you look in the city and you see solid square blocks in the city with no buildings that has another gray rectangle within it, those are SAM sites. Don't be reliant on LiDAR. Get that 100% 5-star victory royale, okay? Because not every time will you have a LiDAR station on your map to help you locate all the objectives. This also is applying to other things such as Shrieker Nest and Spore Towers. Have you ever noticed that there is these tiny outposts that are just red blips? Well, those tiny little red blips, if you zoom in on, you can actually see the mushroom caps of those towers. That means there's either a Shrieker Nest if there is 3 mushroom caps, or if you notice just a tiny red dot with a just black or circle-ish mushroom cap on there, that means it's most likely a Spore Tower. You can also tell if it's a Spore Tower because from a distance you can't see shit, so most likely it's a Spore Tower. And that's 10 tips to help you get better at Helldivers 2. I hope the information in this video was helpful. If you want to get a group of Helldivers to play with, I highly recommend looking at joining our Discord. The link is in the bio, where we have people constantly LFGing, and I am always talking in there and playing with the Chad divers that do join the server. Besides all that, thank you for your time. Thank you to the channel members and Patreon supporters who are single-handedly bankrolling this channel. You guys make it all possible. But besides that, be safe, have fun, and I'll catch y'all next time.